Welcome to Swamp Shangri-La Rural Living, here in the heart of the South Carolina Low Country. I am here with little Liesel, the latest addition to the family. Little German Shepherd puppy that's around just over 3 months old. Sweet little dog, we love her to death. We are going to discuss welding safety today. What do you need to be safe? How to kit up, how to get outfitted up. What do you need? Hey, Big J, what's that dog got to do with that? I'll get there in a minute. First thing you need to do, now first and foremost, this video is for my backyard hobbyists, my auto body guys, my mechanics. This is not for my professional welders out there. If you're a professional welder, you weld for a living, that is your bread and butter, you know the rules. You can do it safe, or you can just get on to another job. That's the law of industry. There is no half-stepping. You either do it right, or you get gone. So with that being said, let's start. All right, for all my guys that are doing this for the first time in the backyard and the like and everything, what I want you to do is to have a welding shield with a number 10 lens in it. That is a proper filter. What I also want you to have are gauntlet gloves. At a minimum, just a good pair of leather gloves. I want you to have a long sleeve shirt. I want you to have long pants. I want you to have boots, no flip-flops. Okay? I want you to have a do-rag or a welding cap. And I want you to use earplugs and safety glasses underneath your welding shield. Now, the other things you're going to need, guys, is a way to handle your hot steel, your metal, a pair of pliers or channel locks. To remove the slag, you're going to need a slag hammer, a slag axe. You're going to need a brush in order to clean the weld. Now you see I also have a rotary brush on a grinder. A grinder is good. It helps you prep the metal, and you could also buff it up by using the rotary brush. Now you also see that I got a file right here that I modified. That's good for raking slag right off a weld. And you'll notice also that I have a bucket for rod stubs. Always collect your rod stubs and put them in a metal bucket because it won't burn through it, first and foremost, and it consolidates them. That way, if your kids are running through the woods, running through the pasture, they don't get a welding rod run into their foot. Same time, your truck, if you're rolling through there, it doesn't get a welding rod run into the tire. Now, with all that being said, what does that have to do with the puppy sitting in front of me having a little bit of a fit? Well, first and foremost, puppies are great, man. Things are better with puppies. I don't care what anyone tells you. Puppies and kittens make the world go round. Puppies, kittens, and colts. That's the way it goes. Yes, I love animals. So, let's talk about a little bit of safety here. And part of that is protecting you from you, and others from you, and others with no voice from you. Number one, don't look at a pretty blue light. It will charbroil your eyeballs. Let me tell you a little story here. Know a good old guy, he was out of body his whole life. And I just found out that he's blind in one eye. And when his daughter told me about it, it's basically his justification, guys, was he didn't want to take the time to get the welding shield. So he just kind of turned his head or looked through one eye to tack weld whatever he had to do. You know, guys, I can appreciate, things being knocked out in rapid succession. But at the same time, you've heard me say, always pay attention to what you're working on. So be careful and be safe. If someone's in your shop, do not let them look at the pretty blue light. Make sure you have barriers up. You can get welding screens all day. Now let's talk about the individuals who can't talk, but they got a voice. You can tell she's a lively little cuss. Let's talk about the ones with no voice. Let's talk about your puppy dogs, your cattle, and your horses, which you're probably going to have on your little homestead, your ranch, whatever, guys. Horses are the worst. You, as the individual welding, you need to set up a good hooch and pretty much keep the horse from looking at your arc, because a horse will stare at it as long as you're welding. And that's just reality. Dogs are second worst. They'll sit right there and watch you and curious of what you're doing. Yeah, really curious. So, and when the animal gets, when you as the welder, you start to get flash burn, reality is, it's going to feel like someone poured 5 pounds of sand and then steamrolled your eyes. I mean, it's going to be a horrible feeling. What you got to understand is that animal's not going to know what it's feeling. That horse is literally going to go insane. If you could get the animal out of the pasture that's all away from you, that's the way to go. But if you have no choice for whatever reason, and the animal has to be where you're at, the guys, you need to hooch up what you're doing where that animal cannot even look at you and see what you're doing. You got to make sure the Rin Tin Tin here can't get into where you're working, because they'll either want to or not. Now you take this little puppy, she loves being underfoot. So you got to protect the puppy from the way puppies act. There's plenty of time for all kinds of rubs and hugs. But when you're welding, put them in the truck. Throw a tarp over the window. They can't look at you if you're in close proximity. Throw a tarp up around what you're doing, so if they're looking out the window, they can't see what you're doing. A little bit goes a long way, guys. And the last thing I think you want to do is to make sure that a 3,000-pound Brahma bull has got flash burned eyes. That ain't fun. They go nuts. You're along for the ride. So like I said, a welding shield, gang, and gloves. A hat, proper attire, including foot attire. Don't go welding in a pair of swimming shorts and flip-flops. Not a good look. Don't do it. You're going to get charbroiled. Picture the worst sunburn you have ever had when you fell asleep in the lawn chair because you've had a six-pack too many, when you been fried from drinking too many rum drinks on the beaches of the Cayman Islands in Jamaica, and you go back on the boat or back to the resort and it looks like you're a lobster. Now multiply that by a factor of 10 and you have a flash burn. You could take a rib roast, piece of meat, and if you could keep that arc going, you could set up a rotisserie right there and you could cook it. That is the intensity of the light alone. We're not talking the heat. We're talking the light. That light is the same as the sun. It is a star. There it is right there. So be conscious of what you're doing, gang. Think before you act. And if you have a question, drop us a line. Always do due diligence on your own as well. There's plenty of good material out there. But just remember, safety glasses, hand protection, welding shield, proper attire, earplugs, and something on your head. Take care, and we'll see you on the next one, gang. Be good.